This is the box for the Freelander PD800, a brand new tablet from Far East, which is a 9.7 inch Retina display quad core. So we're talking functionally equivalent to the Apple iPad 4 for around half the price. What you get in the box, well, it's quite a simplistic. I'm not sure whether you've got an early version out of the factory. It's quite possible, but it's the documentation is quite sparse, to say the least. It's a photocopied getting started guide. You get a couple of USB cable and a adapter, micro USB to female, plus a headset, and that's it really in the box. But let's see what happened. Oh, and you also get, I forgot to mention, a separate power block which comes with it. But let's take a look at the actual tablet itself. As I said, 9.7 inch screen, quad core processor. But the thing that's striking about this is the fact that it's being sold as a Retina display tablet. So what does that mean? Well, the iPad 4 is a 2048 by 1563, and so is this, coincidentally. So it's a 2048 by 1563 screen, 9.7 inch, 264 pixels per inch, and 3.1 million pixels on this little baby. So it's extremely high definition. The difference between this and the iPad 4 is that the Freelander has a quad core, not a dual core, quad core processor in it. It's slightly fatter than the iPad at 11 millimeters versus 9.4 for the iPad. And it's slightly less weight, 620 grams versus 650 grams for the iPad. And of course there's a lot of other things. A 1.6 gigahertz processor, 2 gigabytes of RAM, so it's full, and 16 gigabytes of internal memory, with a micro SD port for extra storage. Let's just take a look at the edge to see what you get. That's a power button. This is the power charging slot. That's the mini HDMI, micro USB, I always get those two mixed up, micro SD, and 3.5 external. What have I got wrong? Oh, there's a OTG host USB for plugging in things like external hard drives right there. So it's got a full complement of ports, volume up and volume down. Another of the menu buttons has been moved up to there. 5 megapixel camera on the rear. And so it also includes things like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, of course, but it has no, unlike the iPad, it has no GPS in it, so you're missing that. So it's running Android 4.1, just to prove it, 4.1.1. We haven't had a chance to test the battery life specifically yet. It's got a 4,000 milliamp hour battery in it, which is not huge, to be honest with you. So with this quality of screen, I would expect not 10 hours out of it, that's for certain. I'll find out more later as we start to use it in earnest. It is a very crisp screen, I have to say. And with the 2 gigabyte RAM on board, you know, and the quad core processor, this runs as it should do. On the Antutu benchmark, it works out at 15,850 on the tests, which places it, I think, just around, well, quite a bit above the Google Nexus 10, actually. So you can get some sort of idea that it is quite a pokey, you know, performance machine with that quad core working in there. Let's have a look at something like browser. And this is Flickr, of course, where it's very hard to see this kind of screen looking at it through a camera lens, but it's incredibly crisp. Let's just have a quick look at a comparison between a standard 10.1 inch tablet and the Retina display, the high quality Retina display. As you can see, there's quite a bit of, it's difficult with this lighting, but you should be able to see that there's quite a bit of difference in the crispness and the brightness of the Retina display compared to the standard one. So yes, you do get improvements not just in the color definition, but also in the crispness and everything else that with 1.3 million pixels available to you. I'm not sure how many games or apps actually take full advantage of Retina displays. I have a feeling it's a growing number rather than a large number at the moment. So it has accelerometer, as I said, and a gravity sensor. It doesn't have the full complement of sensors you'd get in an iPad or any of the higher end standard Android tablets, but it does. I mean, it'd be nice to have GPS included, but for the price, Freelander PD800.